It's time for Living Your Purpose, a motivational and inspirational podcast with Peter and Joyce Nielsen.
Hey everybody, it's Peter Nielsen for Living Your Purpose podcast. I hope each and every one of you are having a blessed week. Wherever you're tuning in, whether it's from the West Coast to East Coast, my great friends up in Canada, I just hope that the weather above you is cooperating. I mean, here we are, we're in November, and the weather this fall has been amazing in the Midwest. We're getting 60, 70 degrees, 40s at night. It's been great, and no snow so far. I know a lot of you like snow. I like to do some things outdoors when it comes to snow shoeing and sledding with the kids. So I hope that everyone's enjoying themselves and truly are healthy. If you do like what you're listening or you're watching on YouTube, just click the subscribe button. We greatly appreciate you. It's because of you that we serve. Peter's Principles television show now reaches over 100 countries on Astound TV network every Tuesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and worldwide on Roku, where you can find us on DBTV every Saturday and Sunday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Today I want to talk about something that I've been living with and that millions of people have been afflicted with, and it's digestive health issues. Whether it's IBS, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, inflammatory bowel disease, ulcers, colon cancer. I could go on and on and on, and it's so vitally important to make sure that we take care of our gut, because most cancers start in your intestines. Has everything to do with inflammation, foods that will create irritants, I would call them, that will create inflammation. And then there's other foods that are anti-inflammatory that will bring inflammation down. The first thing that I want to do is get right to the punchline on the do's and the don'ts that can help you today, news that you could use today. The things that for the next 7 days that I would love to challenge each and every one of you, if you're looking to facilitate, lose excess body fat, if you're looking to bring inflammation down, get Crohn's or colitis in remission, just be healthier from the inside out. The foods to avoid is your processed foods, your bacon, your ham, your cheese, alcohol, white flour, your breads, your butter, your beef. You're probably saying, Peter, what else is there? But when you start putting in just artery clogging, saturated fat, it's hard for your body to work properly. And then when inflammation comes, it slows the whole process down. And it's an evil cycle. So the foods that I just mentioned are foods that are irritants, whether it's soda pop, whether it is salami, pepperoni, processed foods. Cheese is 98% fat. Where do you want to wear it? Any kind of beef or pork, bacon, are all things that will cause inflammation. I call them irritants. So for 7 days, if you could love on your body, I could guarantee you that you would feel better. Besides feeling better digestively, you also probably will end up losing a pound or two because your body is finally getting a chance to relax, not be in fifth gear. And it's so important to, I call it detox. And that's what I want to talk about. You know, for people that are just tuning in, that, you know, you don't know my story, whether you're getting an email or whether you're listening on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, um, social media, or YouTube. My story is that I was born with an incurable condition called Crohn's disease. And Crohn's disease is an autoimmune condition, and it's almost taken my life twice now. I've had 2 death experiences, perforations in my ileum, my small intestines, right in front of my kids. I felt great for almost, 20 years. The disease was in remission, and it came out and showed its head last in 2001, right in front of my daughters, a hole perforated in my ileum. When you're dying, you know it. I started going into septic shock, and at March 7th, 2001, at 2:14 in the morning, I was gone. They were putting defibrillators on me. I had an 8-hour surgery. They took 15 inches of my small intestines, my ileum, out by my ileum valve, where the small intestines connects with the large colon intestines. Lost about 40 pounds, was in the hospital for a long time, and it was hard to get my life back. But with God's help, with perseverance, with the will of a lion, proper nutrition, exercise, my life is more than I can ever imagine. I've been the national spokesperson for Crohn's and Colitis Foundation since, I'm aging myself, since 1985. Traveled all over the world talking to doctors, scientists, as well as patients about this devastating condition. So if you're living with, not feeling good with your digestive tract, I can relate to you. At one given time, I was going to the restroom 20, 30 times a day, eventually bleeding internally. When you have Crohn's disease, which is an autoimmune condition, like I mentioned, your autoimmune system runs amok. So sometimes it can't identify a molecule in a food or a food. It thinks of it as a foreign object, so it's trying to get rid of it this way and that way, until it basically ulcerates on the inside, and then scabs will try to be formed. Scar tissue will thicken the lining of the intestines, and this will be perpetual over years and decades until you get a cut, it bleeds, it heals, it scars, and the intestines gets thicker, and the circumference for the food to get through gets thinner and thinner until you possibly may have a rupture, a perforation, where a hole will, because of the pressure, will happen, and that's when all your waste goes through your body. So it's so important to get your body, get your intestines in check. A great way to do that is to detox or do a cleanse. And I'm just asking you to do this, even to try to do this, if you have any of the symptoms of cramping, bloating, diarrhea, blood. You should make sure you check with your doctor, go to a GI doctor. I have one of the best in the country, put a shout out to Dr. Michael Duffy. He's out of Beaumont Hospital, amazing doctor, helped save my life going back years ago. So the things that you need to understand for the first 7 days, if you're looking to start improving your digestive health, is to detox. And it's a process of a short period of time that you eliminate processed foods and you put healthy foods in. And some of the things, people think of detoxes as complicated, and it's going to be too hard. I'm going to live in the bathroom every day. It's not the case. If you're eating healthy, you're not putting your intestines in fifth gear, you give your intestines time to heal and rest, and you give it ingredients that naturally will be anti-inflammatory. I'm going to go over some of them right now. But what you want to do with this detox is it's going to get some of the toxins out of your body. Some of the antioxidants are going to help flush it out, are going to help your liver, going to help your kidneys. So these are all important things when it comes to digestive health. And some of the best digestive health foods are things that you can find in the produce section of your grocery store. And some of those foods are your broccoli, which is just a wonderful vegetable that brings inflammation down. It contains a sulfur substance called sulforaphane, which basically helps bring inflammation down, fight off infection, whether there's pus or toxins in your body, helps fight it off. Another thing is asparagus. And asparagus is, I love grilled asparagus on the barbecue grill, just lightly grilled, and it gives it an al dente kind of crunch, and it's awesome. But it's got an antioxidant that helps promote detoxification. So these are things you could find, at the most colorful department in your grocery store, the produce section. Some other things that you could find there are some fruits and vegetables, one being grapefruit. Grapefruit, I'll talk about it, but it's got pectin, just an amazing fiber that will help lower cholesterol, that will help with heart disease, help with digestion, help with inflammation, bringing inflammation down. Other things are your avocado, your good unsaturated fats, brings inflammation down, your kale, your artichokes, your beets, which beets kind of is a precursor for nitric oxide. So it dilates, it opens up your vascular system, so it gives you a better pump for working out, but also beets at a high standpoint will help your heart with angina and stuff like that. So talk to your cardiologist about incorporating beets into your eating plan. And all the foods I just mentioned naturally detox. And when you're doing this, I'm going to also introduce something that I put together about 20 years ago. I formulated a recipe, and I'll talk about it. It's easy. You could use it in a blender. I have a Champion juicer, and I'll talk about it on what you can do to get this raw, organic, delicious and nutritious fruits and vegetables in a potion, so to speak, concoction that I put together that is probably one of the best detox, anti-inflammatory drinks out there. And in the near future, I'm sure that I will be putting it in a bottle. And it's not about building my kingdom, it's about building his. It's not about me getting healthy and living on the mountaintops. It's about getting healthy and then being a blessing to others and pay it forward and not hold it to myself. So, I've been through a few battles and back. I've been through a war with Crohn's disease, and know so many people that have lost their lives, shortened their lives with it. And I just, for the rest of my life, want to give informative advice for people that are dealing with that devastating condition that has no cure as of yet. My hope and my prayer is that we could raise enough money to find a cure before I take my last breath. Apples, are filled with antioxidants, polyphenols, fiber. They're great for fat burning. They're great for digestion. The fiber literally binds to cholesterol and heavy metals in the body and eliminates that. So think about it. When they say an apple a day helps keep the doctor away, they really know what they were talking about. So there's so many different beautiful benefits when it comes to an apple. And around this time in fall, I'm sure you and your family have gone to, some apple orchards, cider mills, but make sure you eat your fruit, not necessarily drink it. I mean, apple cider is really good, but it's healthier to eat your apples. And I will talk about apple cider vinegar that helps bring the pH balance to your body, helps bring your digestive tract, lowers inflammation. So it's amazing. Our knowledge is so incredibly powerful if you incorporate it for self-healing, because your body wants to heal itself. It really does. Another thing that I want you to incorporate, and you should, for the first 7 days of a detox cleanse, is put in some citrus, limes, lemons. They're not only antibacterial, but they're antiviral. So that's why even when you're having water in this country or other countries, you take the lemon, you just put it around, you squeeze it around the rim of your glass, a few drops in, and take it, put it on the side. Don't drop it in because you don't know if it is organic or if it has pesticides sprayed on it. So utilize that citric acid from the lemons and the limes, and even vitamin C coming from oranges, all are going to help detox. They are alkaline. You got your alkalinity and you got your acidity, and it really, the properties helps the body's pH balance level out. So having lime, having grapefruit, having lemon, having oranges are all part of my personal anti-inflammatory detox cleanse drink that I basically make, and I'll talk about later. But it's helping your body more than I can even articulate. The other thing that you want to put in your blender, so to speak, your juicer, is ginger root. Not ginger powder, but ginger root. And ginger root kind of looks almost like a bark of a tree with some branches on it. And, it's got a very, break it in half, it's got a very distinctive, refreshing smell. But it's going to be an antioxidant that's going to help you detox. It's going to help bring inflammation down. It's going to help lower cholesterol. It's going to help with your blood sugar levels balancing out. Ginger is a superfood when it comes to detoxing and helping bring inflammation down. It's just the flavors, in my opinion, whether you put some in your tea or you make this drink, is pretty amazing. I was talking about apples before, and now I want to just segue into what I mentioned briefly, which was the apple cider vinegar. The apple cider, and you want it with the mother in it. You don't want that clear garbage, no pun intended, but you want it to be a nutritionist powerhouse. You want it to be just a bundle of nutrients. So you get it where it's cloudy, it almost looks like rusty water. You shake it and it starts, because you'll see it just laying on the bottom. You shake it and you'll see it just kind of mix in with all of that apple cider vinegar. But it controls the pH balance. It helps because of the minerals, the enzymes that it has, helps calm the stomach down. It supports in weight control. So, all I do is I take a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar after I shake it up, and I take that each day in the morning on an empty stomach. The other thing that has flavor, has tremendous scent, a wonderful detox agent is mint. We get lozenges that are mint, chewing gum that are mint, Tums that are mint. A lot of people like the flavor mint. You get essential oil mint, it smells the house nice. But when you think about the herb mint, which looks like a flowery leaf, it really is wonderful for detoxing. It's got iron, folate, vitamin B6 in there, folate, manganese in it. So there's so many things that are going to help when it comes to cleansing your liver, your kidneys. So that's something else that you want to just add into your detox drink. A watermelon is pretty amazing. It's one of my favorite fruits for rehydration. If someone's dehydrated, if you're having watermelon, it is wonderful when it comes to the abundance of trace minerals, vitamins that it has vitamin A, vitamin C, B1, B5, B6, potassium, magnesium, just to name a few. It's made up of 92% water, so it's a great way to kind of get flavored vitamin water in your system while enjoying a wonderful slice of watermelon. It really, really is good. It also curbs your appetite, so don't forget when you're eliminating some of these foods, these are certain foods that I want you to incorporate. Cucumber is another thing. I mean, we've seen in movies, people put cucumbers on their eyes if their eyes are bloodshot or they got circles under their eyes for inflammation. But surprisingly, cucumbers have actually even more water than watermelon. They're 96% H2O, water. And they're filled with fiber, and they're wonderful for helping suppress appetite, for also helping facilitate excess body fat, and for detoxing. So cucumbers, what I do, especially having Crohn's disease, I skin most of all my fruits and vegetables because it's hard for my body to digest it. I stay away from things that have seeds, shells, skin. Even though I recommend just lightly cooking your vegetables to retain its nutritional power, antioxidant activity, for someone like me or someone with inflammatory bowel disease, you don't want to have too much fiber. And when you do have your vegetables, you want to just lightly cook them. So a good example, hard carrots, you break them. Another thing, hard broccoli that are raw, they're hard. So for instance, with the carrots, they have amazing antioxidant beta carotene, which gives them, it's the carotenoid that gives them that orange color. If you eat it raw, it's hard for those antioxidants to be released into your body. If you lightly cook them, you denature that protein. Now it's easily released in your system. Just a little Peter's Principles tip of the day: your cauliflower, your broccoli, your carrots, lightly cook them. I love to grill them, and still get the antioxidant activity, but without it hurting your tummy by getting too much fiber. Just a word on fiber. The average person gets 12 grams a day. The American Heart Association says 25 grams a day is what we need. If someone that has inflammatory bowel disease has too much fiber, it could inflame their intestines. It's just the way it is. With Crohn's disease, certain people, including me, or people that have ulcerative colitis. So other things like cranberries are great for bringing inflammation down. They have vitamin C. They're considered a superfood. Study after study has been talking about how they lower the risk of urinary tract infections. They protect against ulcers, and they're commonly used for UTI infections, usually the first attack. Bring inflammation down, detox. It is a good thing to incorporate cranberries into your digestive system. Grapefruit. I mean, we've heard everything from the grapefruit diet to just the benefits of grapefruit. Tremendous amount of pectin when it comes to fiber. But grapefruit is one of the lowest caloric fruits on this planet. Yet it has such a high concentration of nutrients. It has more than 15 beneficial vitamins and minerals, including thiam, vitamin, folate, protein, believe it or not, fiber, and a range of antioxidants. So it's something, in my opinion, that is on the top 10 of my detox cleanse list. And also, if you're looking to just go on a new eating regimen to lose excess fat, grapefruit is a great way to start your day. Dandelion tea is another great detox for you. It's a natural diuretic, so it gets rid of bloat and excess water. It also is great and known for lowering blood pressure. So again, I'm just talking about no medicine, all holistic, not even mentioning supplements. I'm mentioning foods that have natural, nutritional ingredients, supplements in them that are awesome. So we talked about me making, and I should put it in the below comments, but if someone wants to learn about my Peter's Detox drink, go to transformwithpeter.com and fill out simple information such as your name, your email, and we'll send you more information on digestive health and other great nutritional tips of the week. But offhand, I drink this once a day, and I would recommend you doing this for once a day for at least 7 days. I personally would recommend 14 days, but it's 8 ounces of turmeric. It's your turmeric root, not your turmeric powder. 1 pound of ginger root, 7 organic lemons, which equates to 2 pounds, 2 oranges, and we like to just put a little punch in it and put an anti-inflammatory cayenne pepper, which is wonderful for your gut. This you mix all in your, say, juicer or your blender, and then you basically get like a mixer or a shot glass, which is a 4 ounce, so it would be more of like I would guess a mixing glass. I take a 4 ounce kind of shot glass, looks very small, and that's what I pour it into. And I basically make everything that I just said makes about 7 days worth of drinks at 4 ounces per day times 7 days a week. Amazing things. Digestive health is so vitally important. I have not been on medication for almost 22 years. I can't say that there's not days that I don't feel like my, battery was unplugged. It's just part of living with Crohn's. But I will say that my life has been more than I could ever imagine. And that's what I want for you. And that's why even talking today about helping your gut. How many of you take, Tums or Pepto-Bismol or, Zantac or Nexium? I could go on and on and on because you have indigestion, you have heartburn, you have constipation, diarrhea. That's not the way your body is supposed to work. We're supposed to eat, and all of our nutrients are digested in our small intestines. That's your ileum. That's where they took out, in my life, 3 feet of that. So I need as much help in digesting foods with whether it's probiotics, good bacteria fighting the bad guys, prebiotics, digestive enzymes that help break down proteins so that your body can easily utilize it and maximize it. That is what my hope and my prayer is for each and every one of you. And if you do have any questions, you could email me at peter@peternielsen.com. You can find me on social media, Peter N. Nielsen. My hope and my prayer is that this little segment here truly inspired you to get up off of the sidelines, get back in the game, start crossing your T's, dotting your I's at the breakfast, lunch, and dinner table, and start feeling healthy again. We're not supposed to just exist. We are truly supposed to thrive. We were born with a purpose to live on purpose, to fulfill a purpose that has been burnt in your heart since you've been young. So you only can truly live a purpose-filled life if you're healthy. It's very, very hard. You could be living, in a mansion on a hill, have wonderful exotic cars, have millions of dollars in the bank, but if you don't have your health, you have zero. You can't buy your health back. It's very, very hard to. So that's why the prevention of getting sick costs a whole lot less than the trying to be the dog chasing the car, getting sick and trying to catch up to get better is a hard task to accomplish. So I hope that this has inspired some of you to eat better, to possibly try detoxing, listening to the foods that you should eliminate, listening to the foods that you should incorporate. And if you need to, just listen to this again so that you can take notes on it. Until next week, I'm Peter Nielsen with Living Your Purpose podcast. God bless everyone.
Scan to find out more and explore wellness at your fingertips. Visit us at gmedwellness.com.